Chris Story here for Alaska Real Estate Podcast, your home for great adventures in real estate. Sandy Ehrenman, our executive producer, has arranged for you to hear from Gail Hartnett, your regional vice president with NAR. Gail's here with the lowdown on the showdown in D.C., the big old Realtor Rally. Miss a minute, you could miss a million. Today's podcast brought to you in part by Alaska Housing Finance Corporation, with a mission to make Alaska's housing safe, efficient, and affordable. Don't forget about that awesome multifamily program for 5+, such a vital tool in the investor's kit. Not to mention the energy rebate program still underway. Get all the deets at akrebate.com, akrebate.com. Alaska Housing, your partner in real estate. Please welcome your regional vice president.
This is Gail Hartnett, and you guys in Alaska would know me better as your regional vice president for the Northwest region. For NAR, that's what I'm doing this year, but I also have other things that I'm doing. I happen to be a major investor council member for the Women's Council of Realtors. I was the national president in 2006. I'm a listing and selling agent with Keller Williams Realty here in Boise, and thank you, Lord, the market is picking up. We're having listings are selling. We just don't have enough homes to sell to the buyers that are finally getting off the fence, which is, I suppose that's a good thing. We just have to work a little harder for what we're doing. I think that's probably pretty much what's going on everywhere that I speak with agents. We're coming out of this. We're expecting that by the end of this year, and I think by all of the economists that we're listening to, and NAR also, inch by inch, we're getting there. Slow and steady wins the race. So that's what's happening. So I'm here, I think, today to share with you some of the things that are going on at the National Association of Realtors. I guess I want to start by saying you guys rock in Alaska. I totally believe that you guys are the pace setters for what goes on with the RPAC, the Realtor Political Action Committee. You do amazing things. I wanted to share with you, for those of you that will not be able to come, we've got something huge that's happening in Washington, D.C. Of course, we go to Washington every year for the mid-year meetings in May. This year is going to be a little bit different. We have got our president, our national president, Mo Vesey. He has put out a challenge, and I want to tell you, everyone's working like crazy to get themselves to Washington, D.C. I do believe that there's some others from Alaska that are going that have never gone in the past, and boy, do we thank you for that, because we know that it takes you a long time to get to Washington, D.C., so we sure appreciate it, but you will not be disappointed. We are 30 days countdown to the Rally to Protect the American Dream. Now, this is what's happening. President Mo and, of course, the staff at NAR, they have actually rented space in front of the Capitol building. We're all going to be meeting on May 17th at 9:30 in the morning, and we are going to rally for the American dream, for home ownership. Mo has put out a challenge to have 15,000 realtors there. That's a big challenge, but it's being worked on, and I have to say that we don't expect you to get on a bus to Washington, but the states that are around Washington, D.C., that's what they're doing. They're putting out buses as far away as Maine to drive in to Washington and be there. They really want to fill up with lots and lots of realtors to show our strength. Now, those of us out here in the West, we don't have that same luxury, but we are sharing our rooms. We're opening up, trying to make it so that many, many of us can come. But let me tell you what's going to happen. There's going to be music. There's going to be speeches. There's going to be, and of course, this is absolutely all, we're not there to make the wrong kind of noise. We're there to let Congress know that we really are serious about the American dream and about anything that could harm the housing market, which, of course, as we know, it is the crux of returning our economy to where it needs to be. We've invited, as a matter of fact, our representatives and our senators and their staff to join us out there so that they can be a part and show their support of things such as the MID, which we all know how important that is. There was a time where we were told that was not going to be touched. Not anymore. We're told that everything is on the table. So it's important for all of us, whether we're at the rally or whether we're at home, we need to be on the ball with the calls for action. There'll be a call for action coming up soon on the flood insurance because May 31st is when that expires. So keep that in mind. Make sure that when you get your call for action, you click, submit. Make sure you make your voice be heard, because even if you're not one of the 15,000 that's there, you are one of the 1.3, or actually it's not quite there yet, but over 1 million realtors, that the more of us that share our feelings to our congressman, the more powerful and the more, obviously it's going to help everybody, not just us, our families, our communities, all of our clients, pretty much most of the citizens in our country. So that's what's happening with the rally. It's going to be rain or shine. NAR is providing T-shirts and backpacks and water, and anybody that needs help getting there, because not everybody is a young professional networker. They're not all under 40. So we are, and that would be me, by the way. But so we're all going to be there. It'll be from 9:30 to 11, and then they'll be providing lunch. And then many of us have already made appointments with our congressmen to specifically talk to them, which is what we typically do when we're there in Washington anyway. So let me tell you a little bit, some other things that are happening at mid-year this year. Mid-year starts on Tuesday, the 15th, and I happen to be the chair of the Legislative and Political Forum, and this year this starts at 8 o'clock on Tuesday morning. So if you are planning on coming, make sure you get there on Monday evening, sometime Monday, so that you can join us bright and early at 8 o'clock from 8 to 9:30. We'll have Michael Steele, who is the former Republican National Committee chair, and his panelists, we have two of them. We have an R and we have a D. So Linda Lake will be joining him, and we're expecting a very lively conversation. The theme is what the 2012 elections mean for the real estate industry. And our goal is to be asking questions, and specifically how do they see the candidates putting the real estate market into their campaigning and so on. And then we've also invited Johnny Isakson, who is a senator from Georgia, and some of you may know that name. And if you don't, he happens to be the senator who actually carried the water, who actually brought the $8,000 tax credit, homeowner's tax credit, to the floor. And he is now still a dues-paying realtor, and of course he was prior to becoming a senator. So we're hoping that he's our third speaker. We haven't gotten the official okay yet, but that will be happening. And then, of course, again, I hope I'm enticing some of you to perhaps want to go a little, or maybe make an extra effort to join us. And by the way, I just found out today the gal I asked to join me in my room isn't going to be going. So I will open my room to one female to join me in my room if you need a room. So that's what's happening at mid-year. I started with you folks in January, which was really exciting. What a great way to begin my year as your regional vice president. You set the pace for the way that your leadership handles and runs their leadership meetings, their RPAC meetings, and just very, very impressive.
Gail's terrific. And remember, when you hear Idaho, you say Gail. It's a good line. Everybody should have a catch line.
Blue of the sea, the evening sky, the mountain lakes.
mentioned the Alaska Housing Multifamily Program earlier. Let me tell you, Paul Hansmeyer with Alaska USA Mortgage Company made it a dream to work through. I recently went through that program with a client, and I'm telling you, Alaska USA Mortgage Company has an expert in every area of mortgage you need. Check them out online at alaskausamortgage.com. The Alaska USA Mortgage Team, a name you know and people you trust. There you have it. Your Alaska Real Estate Podcast is coming to a close. Now, don't you fret none. We'll be back in 2 weeks with another installment of Great Adventures in Real Estate. Sandy Ehrenman's our executive producer. For all of us at Alaska Real Estate, I'm Chris Story, wishing you health, wealth, and prosperity.
In the sky, a single hawk. The desert with its secrets.